Is that working? Looks like it. Live on Twitch and live on YouTube. Alrighty. Hey everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Peak. I'm very awake. I woke up something like 2 hours ago. I went to bed late. I'm gonna do my best to just chill today. Cause I've been doing a lot. It's mostly just TTRPG stuff, but it's a lot still. I need to get back on the immigration grind set though. It's gotta happen pretty soon. Cause in the past, I've waited a while to get started on admissions stuff, and I almost always got to it late. So I need to do it harder. Oh hey, Botrix is twice still. Yay. I just moved my nose against the microphone. Anyway, I'm gonna take my meds. Heart emoji. If you guys have meds to take, you should do that too. And I'm taking mine with Lost and Found Energy Blue Rush. I got a bunch of Blue Rush because it was on like a really heavy discount for a while. Sadly, most of those sales have ended, so I need to wait for the next one to pick up a new shipment of energy drinks. All right. Yeah. Did I ever tweak the advanced audio properties? No. No, I did not. I need to do that later. Anyway. I've been trying to get some RimWorld stuff to work. Cause I've been playing with this mod pack, the progression mod pack. And yeah. I added a mod myself, no random ideologens. And I've spent the last couple hours making ideologens to assign to different groups, and it'll select at random from my list of saved ones. If I fill out a couple more categories, it'll probably fill out the rest of the thing. So that'll be cool. I'm tired. Everything is... It's all exhausting. It's all exhausting, and I would like to nap for centuries, I think. Like a vampire. Anyway. I'm gonna boot up the thing. I also need to take my vitamins. Ding. That was close. Yeah, sorry, I'm probably gonna be noticeably very tired. I hope no one minds. It's just been a little rough. I love telling stories, but there's a certain like threshold of writing you hit where I'm exhausted. I'm very tired. I had that flashback a couple days ago. I've been doing a lot of writing. Mostly for tabletop stuff because that's what's keeping me sane right now. And yeah. It's been fun, but it's also been a lot. And yeah. Last night's session was great though. I mentioned I've been running a Bloodlords campaign. Bloodlords being a Pathfinder 2E adventure path from Paizo. Wherein everyone is trying to become bloodlords of the mostly undead nation of Geb. It's pretty fun. But yesterday, I got to emotionally devastate my players because the plot for this bit is, basically, the players are on the trail of, this, like, Ark's big bad. And they are investigating a town which is basically just the pantry of a vampire lord. With the most notable aspect being that since this vampire lord went missing a couple weeks ago, no one has eaten anything. Because this guy maintains a very tight hold on his, like, subjects, basically. So they don't do anything without his orders to. And that includes things like tend the crops and eat. So I leaned into it quite a bit. Yeah. It was really fun. Notably, I know I'm gonna make so many ums and ahs today, and you guys are just gonna have to deal with that. Notably, I played up a few scenes that weren't originally in the book. I did a little extra. So they meet like a community leader type in this you know, pantry village. And the way that I established her character was basically, they find her by the village well, helping an old man get some water, because he seems to be very weak. He's having trouble doing it. But as they get closer, they realize she is basically forcing the water down his throat while trying to reassure him, don't worry, like, you aren't drinking this. I am forcing you to drink it, so I will take your punishment. He won't punish you, I swear. And she has basically been the only reason that the village has lived this long. Because she's been making sure that people actually drink water instead of dying of dehydration. And she's doing it and she's so confident that her penalty for saving the town will be death, basically. And she does it anyway. Yeah. So that was one of the very notable, like, sad scenes. Just showing, like, the outsized effect this vampire has on this population because of how long he's spent feeding on them. Literally generations. And after a while, one of the players, a Dampier, a half-vampire, who I have been making roll wisdom saves, or will saves, the entire, like, session, basically, since they got to this town. They finally fail one. And I revealed that they have been rolling against their own class DC, not to resist an external effect, but to keep a memory repressed. That memory sort of being like the connective tissue that brought her back to some, like, stuff about her character's mother. More specifically, that she remembers basically that their mother was acting exactly like these thralls, basically. Not the same expression, but like this, she was raised in, like, a household wherein her mother was, like, so out of it all the time. And she had always assumed it was because she was, like, traumatized by her vampiric father or whatever, and she reminded her too much of him. But in this session, I dropped the bomb that no, that's what it looks like when someone has been, like, become incredibly dependent on a vampire. And then found that bond suddenly severed. And moreover, I said that the reasoning was probably not just the standard, like, oh, he just left, because they recently learned that this character is basically a bastard. And the vampire was trying to kill her in the womb in order to, like, you know, not have this come back to bite him. And her mother, in basically, like, the first moment of lucidity in a decade and the last for a majority of the rest of her life, like, came to and forced this vampire back in order to save this child, which was not even born yet. The one which is, you know, our player character. And it's more than likely that she realized she was becoming dependent on this vampire, that, like, having to leave would ruin her. And she did it anyway. It's one of those, it's almost a noble story, but it is, just as tragic, just to balance out any hope you might have earned. And I thought that was a very solid, like, way I did the reveal there, to, like, be like, hey, no, this is, you've deeply misunderstood your mother, basically. I have further complicated this relationship, which you already made complicated in your writing of the backstory. And, like, one of the notable motivations for this character to go adventuring was that she ran away from home because she assumed that her mother's, like, you know, emotional absence was a deep shame at her vampiric child. When in reality, and I got to drive in all of those facts in quick succession and watch everyone, like, physically recoil. It was great. I love telling stories. I don't necessarily believe anyone was, like, created for a singular purpose. But if I was, then it would be to tell stories. It's, like, my favorite thing to do. Especially in the tabletop format, because it becomes such a collaborative process. And it helps the people that you are telling the story to most directly, like, grow a bit more of an affection for the characters and such, if they are also characters in the story. And it lets some of that improvisatory stuff rise up. But just more than anything, I love to tell a story. It's all I really want to do. Half the reason why I want to go into game development is because I want to be able to tell these more interactive stories on a much wider scale. Because I can do great things running tabletop games, but I can only run so many. So if I can, you know, work up the knowledge to make games, I can share these stories on a whole new level with more people than ever before. I get to share a story with all of you. I'm going through a lot. America is going through a lot, if you'd like me to be dramatic about it. But that hope of someday being able to tell my silly stories professionally, to tell them to the world. I really hope that I can do that. It would be a dream, really, to be able to actually properly go into game development. All of the like focusing on my mental health recently that I've been trying to do, it's all in service of that goal. I want to keep telling stories, and I want to tell them tell them better than I've ever told before. Because I know I can. Because I know I'm an amazing storyteller. And I want to keep going like that. We'll see how far I get, obviously, but I'm hoping I make it. Like I said, it'd be a dream come true to be able to just tell stories for a living. And I think we all deserve to have our best dreams come true. If that doesn't sound too cheesy. At least hope that, I don't know. Right now, it would feel kind of weird for my family to go through, like, my, video history now. But, I do want that to happen someday. I've said good things and bad about them. There's mixed opinions there, much like there is in every family. I'm not gonna pretend like there isn't. But I really hope they tune into this eventually. Hear some of the inspirational stuff I've said. A lot of people in my family need to hear it. And I have a lot of trouble saying it to anyone's face, so. Hey, I'm all emotional today. You'd never believe it, but an ounce of hope does a body good. A nice afternoon, even when it leaves you exhausted after. Something about telling a good story. Wait. Ah! I was so close to grabbing that beehive just then. I totally could have done it. think I'll leave it though. That was a bit close and I had to use bonus to get that close, so... Well, sun's coming out. I might be able to get it. One more try. Yeah! Now what do I do? Wait. Huh. That didn't go how I wanted. Okay then. At least I drank that milk. Imagine if I didn't. Okay. I think the poison's going down quick enough that I can just wait it out. Now I know I definitely went this way before, but I also used bonus to do that before, so that should work. That's not ideal. Okay. We're gonna wait a minute for these statuses to clear up. Actually, you know what? I think I can eat... Yeah. And that'll give me more than enough to get up there. And there's like 3 more honeycombs waiting for me up there, so I don't need to worry too hard about it. Do I have a doctor's appointment today? No. I have therapy today. I have a doctor's appointment on the 9th. Ooh. Scheduling, man. I need to get better at scheduling. I also need my entire family to get better at scheduling. Like, I'm not amazing at it. I am above, I think, the average I've been presented with. Mostly just because I am very anxious. And the idea of not showing up to things on time is, like, mortifying. Wait. I can't tell if that's based on time spent inside of the plant, or if it's based on, like, amount of time, like, the amount of plants you touch. Because I think if you stand on one of those poison ivy things, you keep taking poison, right? But also, every time you touch a new one, you seem to take some poison. Okay. If I did it right, there should be like 3 honeycombs just over here waiting for me. That's close. That's 2. That's basically 3. I'm guessing the third one fell off. It happens. I think I want to be over there. But I really like the kind of quick tapping stuff that I do when I need to kind of go down a large jump without taking damage. It's just occasionally grabbing the wall. And if you're going down, it's actually pretty easy. If you're going up or to the side, it's a little faster, but it's not. It's very stamina intensive. It's really only efficient when you're doing it down. It can get you some decent distance. Pepper. Scorched berry. It's alright. Pepper was my father's name. It's a little fun that I say heart out loud every so often. I've used heart emojis on Discord so often that I have just started verbally expressing them. It's beautiful. I am so full of love. I really hope I'm conveying the optimism well here. Is one of the rare days where I'm actually kind of feeling it. It's kind of hard to feel like things are going right around now. So I'm gonna milk this feeling dry. Don't make a dick joke. Don't make a dick joke. I'm so mature. I'm an adult. Bleh. Might be stuck here for a minute. So how are you guys? I'm just struggling with these rounded edges. Because I'm sure y'all can see it rounds out on all of them. So in a lot of areas I would be able to scale up with relatively little stamina. But like a little bit of a curve out slows you down enough that you just can't do anything with it. Which sucks. Means you've got some waiting game to play. At least you get to play it in a really beautiful place, though. Just look at all that. I like the worlds this game makes. Oh, I am slowly drifting towards the edge, though. I probably shouldn't. Wait for the rain to pass. All right. An outward slope is my worst enemy in this game. I do my best. I'm gonna keep the honeycomb in my backpack as long as possible. Because I want to cook it. Because cooked honeycombs are like the second or third best food in the game. Like, they're up there. Huh. No, okay, real quick. Do we think this is, evolutionarily advantageous? Because they're growing on the boom puff. So, I mean, they can take root there. Their mycelia spreads through the thing. They're fine. And presumably, predators who are experienced enough with how a boom puff operates avoid them, because it's a dangerous thing. But also, oh, I didn't go off. What? Oh. I really assumed that they would go flying when the thing supporting them, exploded. But no, I guess they're just fine there. Anyway. Bleh. Where am I going next? Where am I going next? Sorry. I keep, getting overwhelmed by all this college's stuff. It's a lot, and I'm still a ways out from actually being able to meaningfully act on much. So I've just kind of been trying not to think about it for a little bit. Give it another week. I'm just worried that taking some time to make some room in my brain might take too much time. And I end up not being able to run away. I don't want to be stuck here. America's looking pretty bad right now. I don't know if you guys noticed. Yeah. It's one of those, I don't have the bandwidth to do much about this. But at the same time, the fact that I haven't done much about it is just destroying my energy. I feel like overall I'd be doing a lot better if, like, somewhere in there I had a bit more of a guarantee of safety going on. We'll see how it goes. Overall, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna survive most of this. Kinda. I am sure that there is going to be a version of me that lives long enough to die of old age. And it is always my philosophy that as long as that version of you has, like, a chance to exist, you'll see it through, you know? Because someone needs to do it. The alternate universe versions of you are the ones that die. But you are the one who is awake and aware in your head right now. The universe experiencing itself. And it wants to do that as long as possible. So it's gonna pick the version of you that it gets to watch the longest. Because the universe, big fan of its own work. I find that aspirational. I'd like to be an even bigger fan of the stuff I make. Ooh, I don't like that. There we go. Thanks, Pandora. Okay, if I can't make it out of the country, if things end up going bad for me, can all of y'all do me a favor? I talk about my stories quite a bit here. If I ever lose the opportunity, could some of y'all finish them for me? It'd be good to know that there's someone willing to do that if worse comes to worse. And I don't expect to die, not really, but it is a possibility. I'd rather not be unprepared. But yeah, I've got my players on the Sunset Tabletop server. Got my friends at the Prospectors Guild. Hopefully I've said enough places that you know, the stories can get finished. If you need leads to go on, though, I made several friends through Vintage Story. Those would be the prospectors. Oh, Ami by in Hell. That would be a good one to reach out to. That kind of thing. If you know about this channel, then there's a link to my Discord server somewhere. And most of the people on there I'd say I'm friends with. Stuff like that. Worst comes to worst. They'd appreciate if someone tried their best to finish as many of my stories as possible. Take some creative liberties with it. Not like I'm gonna be around to judge you. And again, no intention of, you know, just wanted to say it. Make sure it's heard somewhere. It'd be a shame if something happened. You know, these characters I've made just don't get a chance to see their resolutions. Yeah, and all sad and introspective today. Therapy later is gonna be a lot of fun. They know be able to help me calm down a bit. They usually can. Very good at the job. Because, just about enough, like, can read where I'm at pretty well, starting out the session. And, there's a big fucking truck out there. Is generally good at mixing, like, you know, complimentary and challenging topics and all that, helping boost my confidence when it's low and pushing me when I am ready. They appreciate it. She does good work. They do good work? I think it's a they-she situation, but I actually need to double check that, I think. Bleh. might be a little quiet for a bit. I have hit on just enough emotionally challenging topics. My energy's not great right now. It doesn't really need to be, though. Y'all understand. If I'm ever quiet for too long, just enjoy the peak ASMR. I kind of wish I could have an optional track for just, like, my mechanical keyboard sounds. Because this is a nice clicky clacks. If I ever get around to editing these, I will add the keyboard sounds in post. I say, I probably won't do that. That sounds like it'd suck. But if one of you guys did that, I would give you the highest honor I can bestow, a little gold star sticker. And a hearty good job. Y'all deserve it. I've seen some of the stuff you guys make over on the Discord. It's all really pretty stuff. Sometimes it feels like it's really hard to, you know, like find solid art these days. Probably because of all the AI stuff. But y'all are making so much. I'm proud of y'all. I'm gonna hide in this little crevice here. It should be enough that I don't die. I wasn't really keeping track of my cold in the blizzard. So it's not looking great. We're gonna see how long I can stretch this out, though. If y'all noticed, I was starting to pass out, so I made sure to jam stuff in my backpack and throw it on the ground and all that. Just to maximize the amount of stamina I have to burn through before it, before this. I'd like to think the sun will come out soon, but I don't know. It might not be soon enough. We'll see. No, I don't think it will be. That sucks. Well, thank you to everybody who tuned in. I bumped into something. I really appreciate your viewership. And I'll see all you guys next time. Bye.